God, I'm a mess. Oh. So I only started playing this game at the end of the Stormblood patch cycle. So I haven't had the pleasure of enjoying this game from the beginning. An old friend of mine actually got me into it after some persistent nagging on his part. I'm glad he did. This has been one of the best stories. No, this has been the best story I have ever experienced. I'm trying to keep it together, I'm sorry. The beginning of this expansion, I wasn't sure it was going to live up to how Shadowbringers made me feel. It surpassed it in a big way. I can't even really explain it. This whole story has been phenomenal. Music was beyond amazing. Spoken knocked it out of the water again. To that friend who got me into this game, even though we don't talk anymore, thank you. I don't think I would have ever gotten into this game if you hadn't continually pushed me to get into it. And the friends I've made along the way have been beyond phenomenal, so it's been worth it. I was gonna take the credits to kind of go over Endwalker as a whole, but I'm not sure I even can right now. Fighting Zodiark as the level 83 trial was probably the biggest what the fuck moment I think I've ever experienced in this game. Obviously, I think everyone was expecting Zodiark to be the final trial for this, because he's been hyped up to be this big bad this whole time. And he's done and gone after a third of the story, if even that. Being sent back to the ancient past, actually meeting and interacting with Emmett Selk, and the Deus was amazing, and getting to use them as trusts in the 87 dungeon, I could not. And having Emmett and Hythlodaeus come back at the end to bring everybody, to bring us back, protect us, give us the chance to bring everybody back. And the final confrontation with Xenos, while I felt it was a little drawn out, was a good ending for Xenos. He got what he wanted. He died happy. He died getting what he wanted. Seeing the characters grow throughout this expansion, though Tancred and Y'shtola didn't get a whole lot of growth in this expansion, but Tancred especially got his growth in the last expansion in a big way. Y'shtola never really got a whole lot of growing, really, but I'm not sure she really needed it. seeing the twins grow, seeing Graha kind of go from becoming the Crystal Exarch in Shadowbringers to being who he is now and being this relaxed when he's comfortable, but still really, I don't know, uptight, maybe, not really uptight, but unsure of himself, of how he should be, and then becoming this friend that I would do anything for. Estinian already had his growth in the last couple of expansions, really, but even though he really wasn't on screen much, he grew quite a bit. The music in this game, from start to finish, with every expansion, gets better and better. Masayoshi Soken is a god of music, to be completely blunt. Heaven's Word is probably one of my favorite themes. But Shadowbringers and Endwalker Footfalls are pushing their way up there. To the Edge is probably still one of my favorite trial themes. And it hits even harder knowing that the man was in a hospital bed with cancer while he wrote it, insisting that he continue working. We don't deserve him. We don't deserve that man. Character designs have always been good. The community has been great. Though I can now turn shout back. I can turn shout and say chats back on. Because you can never be too careful. I do not know what else I can say about this game. Yeah, it's a price point. You pay for the game up front, and then you pay every month, but it's an MMO, and the Final Fantasy XIV development team has earned every penny they have gotten throughout the years. When Yoshi P took over the project after the horrendous reception and status that Final Fantasy XIV originally got, and he turned it into this. Yeah, he didn't do it alone, don't get me wrong. But I'm not sure any other developer could have pulled off what he did in the short time span that he did. If I recall correctly, A Realm Reborn was done in a year. Yes, they used the skeleton of 1.0 to kind of help save time. And some aspects of the game have suffered as a result. But they've pushed it, and they've continued to push it. And I fully believe that they will continue to do so in the future. Whether we see a engine upgrade or not, I'm convinced that we will at some point. I think the dev team has already seen that the skeleton code of 1.0 has held a lot back. But despite that, or in spite of that, however you best be phrased, I don't know, they went above and beyond. And I'm not really much in the community. I'm only just now really trying to kind of put myself out there. My stutter and my living situation kind of getting in the way. Two adult men living in a 900 square foot house makes recording a little difficult sometimes. Makes streaming even harder. But as I see more content creators having grown in the past year, I'm feeling more confident. Between the communities I'm a part of in-game, with my FC on my main character and the FC that I started out with, both of which I'm still in touch with almost on a daily basis right now. I know. I know I've got their support. I've got my friends pushing me. My God. My husband who has supported me. Especially as I started recording this. He's been very gracious in trying to keep quiet when he is home, and I'm still trying to get stuff done. Even though that's difficult sometimes. I'm very grateful for him. We had a friend living with us for several months who has been a great help and a great support. I wasn't sure if I would be up to doing any of this at all. Because about a month and a half ago, we lost one of our dogs. That kind of broke me a little bit inside. I wasn't sure if I would be recovered enough to do this in time. But with all the support that I've had, I knew I'd be okay. I'm just kind of talking as stuff pops into my head at this point. If you click away at this point, I completely understand. Really? As the phone rings again. No, go away. Ah, damn. I don't know what more I can even say. This has been a phenomenal journey. And while this 10-year story is at an end, the game's not done. They have more planned. And we don't know where we're going next yet. But next several patches we will start to kind of be putting a picture together of whatever it is they have planned. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to experience it, be a part of it. My next project is going to be very lengthy. Once I unlock the 2 expert dungeons, and I'm assuming there are expert dungeons. I've actually not heard if there are or not. I would assume so, but who knows? I do want to see if I can learn the 2 extremes on launch. Obviously, that being Zodiark and Heidlin. Oh, that's major props to the team for giving us the ability to use trust, even if it was only for the 1 trial. Being able to use the NPC trusts for the Heidlin fight was amazing. Even if the NPCs weren't great at avoiding some of the mechanics, I noticed. But hey, Haibo. Yeah, my next project after doing the last 2 level 90 dungeons, and hopefully clearing the two extremes, I am making a male Viera character, and I will be recording his journey from A Realm Reborn to Endwalker. This is going to be a massive undertaking for me to try and do. I'm going to try to voice act, as you all have experienced throughout these recordings. I could use some improvement in that area. It is, in my opinion anyway, not good. But that's my opinion. Maybe you will tell me differently. I don't know. I've already gotten him pre-made thanks to the benchmark. And I've already talked to the FC about this. He will be replacing my original character in this game. That character's Hiroko. I've already got plans in place to store the gear and the gil that I care about at this point, until this character can use the Chocobo saddlebag, the retainers. I don't remember how far into the story that is offhand, but I have gotten permission to store in the company chest if I need to. Sirocco was my first character when I first got this game, and due to a falling out with the person who got me involved in this game, I have taken all that and trying to maintain 3 characters at one time. I'm not gonna be doing that. No. Due to those 2 reasons, Evar or Irva, I do not remember if it is Evar or Irva, will be replacing him on the Crystal Data Center on, I think it's Zalera? Yeah, I think it's on Zalera. He will be part of the same FC as Hiroko was. My lovely friends, the agents of Greystone, I don't... Forgive me, you guys, for probably screwing up the name. I am not great with remembering names if I don't see them consistently enough. The Heralds of Greystone, I think. At least that's the name of the group on Facebook, I think. I don't know. Anyway, with any luck, they will be able to help with queues and stuff, with dungeons and trials. Ever's journey is going to be a long one. I am going to be looking at what was released in what patches in terms of the Crystal Tower raids, the Binding Coils, Warring Triad, Void Arc, so on and so forth, with the basically the 8-man and the 24-man raids. The trial series for the expansions, I don't know if I will be including those, because I know that will cause it an even bigger round of doing things. I'm not sure how much I want to do. Eureka might be included, because I've actually never completed Eureka's story. So I might be including that. I might not be. I have not decided that. I have not made that decision yet. I also will be skipping Minbosja. That is another decently lengthy story. I'm trying, unless something comes out in the future that we know links back to it, I'm going to want to focus on the 24-man raids and the 8-mans as they were released, to kind of put together a more cohesive story. So it's not just, we'll get a hold of you. Oh, we're getting a hold of you the next second. And kind of cut it up a little bit. But those are my plans. I hope that you all will join me in this full journey, however long it might end up taking, because it's a long journey. I'm doing this now because it's only getting longer and longer, and now that I've kind of finalized a character for my Bun Boy, I feel like now that I've gotten the MSQ done on my main, this might be a good time to start moving forward with this project. I was not expecting these credits to run this long. Probably just sit here and enjoy the rest of the credits until they are done. This was one hell of a story. Just enjoying all the music as best we can. I want to thank everybody who has joined me on this journey as well. I should probably get that out of the way too. Again, I kind of been wanting to do this kind of stuff for a long time. More than anything, I've been letting my stutter get in the way. I feel like I let my stutter get in the way a lot. I'm hoping this was kind of a test project for me to see if I could push myself to stick with it. And it seems like I was able to. I don't think I'll ever use the webcam at this point. We'll see what happens in the future, but I already hate how I sound sometimes, and I'm still not there with how I look. But that's a me problem. That's not a you problem. That's a me problem. These credits are long. We've been going for 25 minutes. Oh boy. I'm out of stuff to say. I do apologize. So I might just talk about stuff as they come into my head when in regards to the game. Was recently wondering what the trial mounts are going to be. We have now learned that they are cats of a sort. I think someone said that they were lynxes. So hopefully I want this to be the first expansion where I actually get the mounts as they come out. That was my goal for Shadowbringers as well. I have one of the Gwivers. So hopefully I think I might record my progress on that. I might do one at a time. Take count of which one appears to be easier for people. Start with that one. I have cleared multiple extremes in the past on launch. Me and a group actually cleared Ruby Weapon on launch. That is actually the dragon that I got. And I cleared Emerald Weapon through Party Finder. I think during that patch cycle, I believe. I definitely did it before the Diamond Weapon happened. So I'm hoping... And we still don't know what the trial series is going to be at all. We have heard nothing about that. I would also like this to maybe be the first time I maybe try and proc Savage for the raids. I do not have a static for that, so that'll be through Party Finder, which honestly terrifies me. But we'll see what happens there. We don't know a whole lot about Pandemonium yet. We have seen what is effectively the base of operations area, or the hub area. Myths of the Realm, we know literally nothing about, other than it appears to focus on the 12. And there's a line by Emmett Selk towards the end that we don't even know the truth about the 12. I'm guessing that Myths of the Realm will delve into that, which absolutely excites me that we are getting two Final Fantasy XIV unique raid series that aren't callbacks to other games. I'm excited for that. I don't think we haven't had something that was like uniquely 14 since the Void Arc. In terms of the raids, anyway, because Heaven's Word was Alexander, which is, I mean, that's a callback to multiple games, but that was more unique to it. And so basically, since Heaven's Word in general, because the 8-man in Stormblood was Omega, which is a tournament arc with previous games bosses, basically, for the most part. Hell, even Omega was a callback to Final Fantasy V. And the Alliance raid was Avalise, being obviously Tactics and 12. Shadowbringers 24-man was the crossover with Nier, which, whatever. And the 8-man being Eden was... It was Final Fantasy VIII inspired. I'm not sure I would say it was a full-on throwback to Final Fantasy VIII, but it was very much Final Fantasy VIII inspired. So it'll be nice to have something uniquely Final Fantasy XIV again. And I'm hoping they didn't kind of goof that, but I have faith that they didn't. So I cannot wait to start farming tomestones. I'm getting that Final Fantasy IV gear is going to be amazing. I think we had a preview of what the capped tomestones look like. The capped tombstone gear looks like in not the last live letter, but the one before that, when they were talking about battle system stuff, I think. I think we got 2 pictures, but that was it. So I'm curious to see more of that gear. It was very white, if I remember correctly. Seeing the primals in a more pure form was absolutely wonderful. Also, I have to say, they did not release the 1.0 trailer again just to have all of the trailers on the channel. Because that cutscene was pulled almost directly from that trailer, with the pillar of light blasting upwards and the primals coming out of it was straight from it. And this song not being the final trial theme really surprised me, but in a very good way. Because again, this goes back to my commentary about how they basically bamboozled us on multiple levels, with Zodiark being the 83 trial. But it was a wonderful bamboozle. And with that, we are the Endwalker. And if this isn't on an orchestrion roll, I will be very upset. Because this was a very good theme. legitimately frustrated that some of my recordings didn't save. That or I just never hit the button, which is certainly possible. But you know, it's a learning experience. And I know for the future to always double check. But I got most of what I wanted. And I hope people can understand that this was an amateur project. I'm very new to all of this, and I'm hoping to learn more. I'm hoping if anyone, any content creators out there who see this have any advice to give, by all means, I'm open to hearing it. I don't expect to get big into the Final Fantasy XIV community, but I would gladly take advice from anybody, because it's a learning experience that I want to take part in. And with that, this test project comes to a close. Oh. There's more. I did not know. My gosh, these credits keep going. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. I'm so glad I didn't just skip the credits, because this is awesome. Even Crown Tataru. Oh my gosh! Yes! Oh, this key art! Oh, that key art is beautiful! Well, everybody,